mean, that's.
I read
that's
like three.
We're gonna roll with that.
The first sentence and laughed.
Yeah. And what? Yeah. We'll of course get into it. It's crazy that once again, though, you were right. You did call it.
I did call it.
You were saying. I mean, how? When did you start saying that? Probably like. Honestly, probably since last World Series of Warzone, that was your thing the whole time. You're like, SSD, they're not going to do it 3 times. It's not possible. So, like, some other shit team's going to win.
Right. The nanosecond after they won last year, I was like, oh, by the way, they won't do it again. So
yeah, it's not possible.
They can't do it. They won't have the passion next year.
You got to let another kid play every once in a while, you know? You got to give another kid the...
Yeah. They're also geriatric by Call of Duty standards.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think particularly Hisoka strikes me as an old man. He's probably what, 28?
He's like 19. He's just Samoan, so he looks 40.
Oh, he's 19? Oh wow.
No, I don't, he's probably I don't know. He's probably like 22 or something.
Oh yeah.
That's well, I guess, yeah.
That's how it goes. Anyway, we're live, boys and girls. Welcome. Finally, things are happening in Call of Duty.
Wow.
Boy, are they.
Yeah,
it's official as fuck. Welcome to episode 549 of the Dropshot, a Call of Duty Blackout Experience podcast. My name's Casey, also known as Razinon. I'm joined by Tanner, and today we are live. We haven't been live in a minute, so welcome back, pigs.
Really?
Fun Studios also with the gifted sub. Yeah! That's the kind of shit I like to go live to. Thank you, big dog. Appreciate it, man.
Anarchist61 got the gifted sub. Nice.
Yeah, big, yeah. Anarchy makes sense. Read Thomas Hobbes. Or don't, actually. Just don't be an anarchist. Anyway. Well, the show, the Leviathan. Cool name, by the way. Cool word. Leviathan.
I don't care.
I'm a big fan of that word. It's a biblical monster, I think. Anyway, yeah, it super doesn't matter. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
All right, so today, yeah, things are finally happening. So we've gotten COD Next. We've had the World Series of Warzone. And right now, the beta may or may not be live, depending on who you are and how lucky you are. Because,
yeah,
of course, as a Call of Duty program, application, venture, it's not working consistently, which is fine. You know, it literally just went live, so whatever. But anyway, all of that is to say, finally, we are out of the drought and into the deluge of information, which is kind of annoying, but we will manage. So today we're going to talk about, basically, we'll talk a little bit about the World Series Warzone, and then also everything we learned from COD Next, or most things, that are related to Warzone specifically.
Warzone.
So we just did on Patreon for all of our patrons a bonus episode 2 days ago on COD Next kind of broadly, and we talked a lot more about the multiplayer there and some about the Warzone. And then what we were going to do was split up this episode and Saturday's episode into Warzone and multiplayer. However, with the beta out, it makes a lot more sense to do it this way. Today, Warzone info that we now know. And then on Saturday, multiplayer info we now know / beta first impressions, because everything we could have learned from COD Next about multiplayer will be encapsulated in having played the beta. So that's the schedule for this week.
Installed.
My beta is also installed, and I am very, very excited to finally have something new to fucking talk about this fuck-ass game. God damn it, finally. So, which is good news. So before we get started, we've got some new patrons. Ryan M. and Jason C., our newest gold patrons. Welcome, boys. Appreciate it. Patreon.com/thedropshot. Best way to support the show. Ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and bonus episodes like the one I just talked about. Appreciate it, guys. Now, to start, they did do a blog post that's like a little recap. Evidently, it is insufficient. So before we do that, we're going to go through the TL. And then we're also going to go through Raven's Twitter, where there's actually a lot more info, a lot better of a recap of COD Next there than on the website callofduty.com. In the blog, BO7 Next recap. So that makes sense.
Yeah.
And that's how they handle patch notes, right? If you wanted to get all the patch notes, you would have to go to COD updates, because sometimes they're the ones tweeting about it. The blog, sometimes they post the patch notes there. Or to fucking Exclusive Aces YouTube. Sometimes the patch notes are there. But they're never all in one spot. Maybe the Trello board has a couple. Never gonna go there. So, classic, of course. Just put all the fucking patch notes in one spot always. You have a website and employees, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. So anyway, yeah, that's the plan for today. Now to start, let's talk about the World Series of Warzone. This just happened yesterday. And turns out FIFA Kill won.
Yeah. I think you had kept saying he was going to be like top 3 at least.
He's up and coming, which is what I was saying. And I asked a lot of you guys to bet me. I said, I'll give you any amount of money if anyone but FIFA Kill's team wins.
Yeah.
And you all sounded very confident, but none of you actually bet me money. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
Turns out I didn't get a nice payday like I did last year when I bet on the winning team of that year, which was the Falcons. But yeah, he won, and it was an event. So how did the World Series of Warzone go? Well, we have some tweets to share, which we're going to get into in a second. But before we do that, I watched some of it. I tuned in at the time it was starting, and then it didn't start for another 2 hours and 15 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And I'm dead ass.
They pushed like an update live or something, so every single computer needed to be updated. So 150 computers on the same internet connection all had to be updated. So,
which is weird for a LAN tournament, by the way, that you have to do a patch like that.
Yeah, I would figure the game would be on some like almost like an alternate version. But I don't know.
Well,
I mean, you would think they would figure these things out to not have an automatic update be forced on those systems, but
right.
Yeah, I mean,
or if you
it's being
insist on
sunset,
making them
plus
play,
they don't care about competitive.
Exactly, yeah.
gaming.
If you insist on them playing the latest patch of Warzone, here's a thought: stall whatever patch you just pushed until tomorrow. Was it a seminal, groundbreaking patch that fixed a key bug? Probably fucking not. So anyway, for that and other reasons, by the way, so it was a LAN tournament, but people were crashing due to packet loss. Here's what's interesting about that. That is basically impossible. How do the packets get lost going from your computer through a direct connection to, I don't know how it works, but other computers or whatever? It's crazy. There shouldn't be possible. But it was a fucking disaster. It eventually got started. And FIFA Kill's team won. Now, Tanner, you have some things to say about this.
Well, yeah. You did win, of course, obviously, because the thing you guys are forgetting is the game sucks a lot right now. And people here in the, North America, they know better than to care or attempt to play well in a game that sucks a lot. So I think it was pretty base that the NA teams didn't show up. I mean, Soka was just like sleeping on the couch in between matches. He just wanted to hit the
taking
casino.
shots.
That's what I obviously always say. He's taking shots. So the game wasn't worth their time or effort. So yeah, NA is on top, of course, for not caring about this shit tournament that took place on shit Verdansk on arguably the worst version of Warzone we've ever had. So yeah, right. I think it's pretty based. Pretty cool stuff. Based.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just don't give a fuck. I like it.
Yeah. And I agree. That a lot of people in Discord and our Patreon were saying like, dude, I don't think Falcons are going to win. Their heart's not in it. if I can paraphrase what everyone was saying.
Yeah.
And that was pretty obviously true, because I was watching like shifty POV mostly. I didn't watch the whole thing. It was fucking 9 hours long. But when I tuned in, it was usually shifty. And they didn't really, they didn't care that much. Obviously, they were like trying to win. But they weren't, they weren't super broken up about it.
Yeah.
And, good for FIFA Kill. But yeah, a lot of people have come in our Discord saying, like, tagging me and saying, hey, give me flowers because the continent I was born on, a team from there won a tournament I did not participate in nor contribute to in any way whatsoever. And I will not be doing that, obviously. Hey, if FIFA Kill came in our Discord and added me and said, I want my flowers, I would consider it. But not some guy who was born, who had the distinct misfortune of being born in the United Kingdom. So, and like Tanner said, in North America, specifically the United States, God bless it, what you Britbongers don't understand is that there are things to do.
There's sun also. No, not sure if you guys have seen that.
There are seasons. There's sun. There's autumn. There's winter, but not the whole year. There's rain, but not always. And on top of that, we have food.
Yeah.
We have entertainment, recreation. We have beautiful national parks. We have every biome on Earth in one country. And you don't need a fucking passport or a television license, by the way. So we can also watch TV. And we control people on Twitter without armed gunmen knocking down our door and throwing us in a cage, right? So we have all of these beautiful, wonderful things afforded to us by the United States Constitution that allows us, on top of a bountiful, beautiful land, that affords us the privilege of being able to do other stuff besides play games.
Yeah.
So if you're in EU, you actually have a huge advantage when Warzone is in the abysmal state it's been in this year, because you will hate playing it, but it will still be the best, most fun, fulfilling possible thing you can do any day of the year, because it's raining outside, there's beans on toast, and blood sausages, and that's all you got. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do while dodging
the
police for making mean tweets.
They also used guns in World War II that were made
really
by
bad
themselves.
stuff.
They were made by the British. And
we've served there. Tried themselves.
We've served in Tobruk against the German infantry, and we had some trouble with those guns, man. I mean, it's just really fucking bad stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously the British can't win a war because their guns aren't good, so they needed us for everything. So
I didn't like getting gunned down by a Browning automatic rifle made in the United States, of course, while I'm pulling the lever on some fucking Red Ryder during the Industrial Revolution. Figure it out. But yeah,
there's also I wanted to send you this, and I forgot about it. So there's this kid on TikTok. I don't know why he came up on my feed, but it's some kid who I like. There's something wrong with him, and like that was obvious, and I thought like everyone knew that. And he put out this TikTok, right? Keep in mind he lives in the UK. And he was all excited because he was like, guys, I might have autism. Like, I might have the answers to my questions, right? And he put listen to this. This is peak British, peak UK right here.
Okay.
He says, I am on the waiting list for an autism assessment. Here we go. That could take 2 to 3 years.
What?
Yes. And he's dead serious. And all the comments are like, so happy for you. Like, hope you can get to the bottom of this. Like, hope you can figure it out. 2 to 3 years to determine if you have fucking autism in the UK. So don't talk shit about our fucking having to pay for healthcare. I can probably go find out if I have autism in a fucking hour. I might have to pay $250. 2 to 3 years? I can't believe it.
But because of the beauty of capitalism, you have that money to spend. Well,
but yeah, enjoy your free healthcare. It fucking sucks. So yeah, we're still better. That's what we're getting at here, obviously.
Yeah, I already know that. Yeah, so when Warzone's really bad, you know, Falcons, they're like, oh, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go to the beach. I'm going to go to the beach on a nice sunny day and ride the waves in a temperate 75-degree ocean.
Yeah.
Whereas in the UK, if you wanted to go to the beach, you would be combating a torrential downpour. The water would be a black marsh, probably. And you would just get thrown into the rocks if there are waves at all. If you didn't succumb to hypothermia first because of the frigid ocean that you're going to. And that's all fine. Listen, hey, not every country is the United States. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing.
Every country wish they were.
Biffle was at strip clubs. He was watching shows he wanted to watch. He was, you know, whatever. Yeah. Going to a national park, going on a hike. And FIFA and Co just didn't have those options. There was
FIFA
nothing
and
to
Co,
do.
They had to hop on a 16-hour
flight
flight home just to step out of the plane and be greeted with fog and no sun, and then also go back to eating beans on toast or pie and mash in their 200 square foot apartment, while Shifty's probably overlooking the ocean in Malibu in his mansion, eating at Nobu. You know,
and
so
nearly
it is what it is. We still
in Nobu, yeah. And on the 1 out of 365 days there isn't rain, they nearly succumb to a heat stroke, actually. So, because they don't have air conditioning, I guess, in the UK.
It's 74 degrees.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, have the EMS on standby. You might have to wait 2 years to get into a room there for that reason as well, but that's fine. So anyway, so obviously you guys need to relax. We're fucking around. The United States is the best country, and that's not a joke, but relax. Anyway, congratulations to them. Falcons didn't win. And then supposedly also, Biffle is...
Yeah, he is actually retiring. Yeah. That's what I'm being told.
That's what they're saying, yeah. And what's interesting about this, by the way, I couldn't watch the thing. So the tournament ended, and then the casters interviewed Biffle in front of a teleprompter, by the way, or a projector screen, by the way. I also did a funny screenshot comparison of when Falcons won last year and when FIFA won this year. And then last year, it was like this huge stadium, fucking strobe lights, crazy fireworks, audience cheering, cameras in their face.
Yeah.
And then this year when FIFA won, his team is just standing in the middle of a room on a 6-inch tall pedestal surrounded by other PCs in a dingy 10x10 conference room. I was like, man, these guys got fucking robbed, dude. It's just an astounding difference.
And that's why they won it, because it was in a shit room, so it felt like home to them. Yeah, they're accustomed to that.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, we have some. I've got a roundup of tweets here, so we're gonna start hitting these, obviously. But yeah, so it seemed like it was a disaster. That's what everybody said. All the competitors.
That's what they were saying. Yeah.
I mean, people, they weren't letting them use the bathroom. They couldn't figure out the rules. They were telling some people to turn off stream, and then they're like, "What? We're supposed to be streaming." These people were told they had to have their stream on. So it was a mess. Nobody knew what was going on. They were basically telling the competitors to shit in their chair, just take a dump right in their little tiny chair, and
which I would have had to have done in that situation.
Shit like that. Yeah. So FIFA Gill's first tweet, LMAO. Some people have been told by their admins they're allowed to stream, and our admins are shouting at us, telling us to end our stream. I got packet loss in the test games. We're using our desk-mounted stream mics for comms in-game instead of headset mics. Some people are on full screen exclusive, while others are on borderless and being told they're not allowed to switch. Which is
insane, by the way.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
I read this and I wondered, what the fuck possible cheat does running on full screen exclusive versus borderless enable?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that even.
It's completely fucking
insane.
Yeah. So, anyway.
So then another one, Thief also tweeted, Lennon started his stream and the admin comes over and says, you have to end your stream. Len shows him everyone else in the venue live for 15 minutes and he says, don't worry about anyone else, worry about yourself, and then forced him to end his stream.
That's diabolical, by the way. That's something you say to your 6-year-old. Just worry about yourself. That's fucking insane, where I would freak out. Yeah.
Because game devs don't know how to speak to other human beings. So
we keep going. Knew that, yeah.
Yeah. Rated, who's been a pro for a while. Thank God this waste of a year is over. Never wasted so much time in my life. Than the peace sign. Okay. Unrational. $1 million tournament and my last scavenger box is getting pulled behind a locked door. Griefing the whole game.
That's still in, man?
That's Call of Duty. Yep.
Yikes.
You got that one.
Really bad stuff.
Huskers just does a tweet that says 2020 to 2025 and then a peace sign. And then somebody commented like, time to join all the other 30-year-olds on RuneScape. And Husker said, oh, I have many more BR tournaments to win, my friend. One door closes, another one opens. So these guys are kind of hinting at something. And then Breadman says, see you then. So I think, I'll get to the Breadman tweet right now, actually. So then Breadman tweeted, we didn't play up to our expectations today, but I couldn't be happier with my team this year. We put an insane amount of time on and off the stream to make it to land, frag like we did, and it wasn't on anyone of today the way it went. No excuse to GG. And then he said, looking forward to the next competitive journey ahead, ... So they're being sneaky. I think Huskers and I almost wonder if they have some sort of like insider info on like Battlefield, like if Battlefield with their BR is going to try to do some sort of competitive something. I don't know, but they're obviously moving on from Call of Duty, it seems like, which they were like genuinely like the last couple K-BAM Warzone pros left. There aren't many besides them that like qualifies for these tournaments.
Right. Yep.
So not sure what they're hinting at there. I can only think it's Battlefield. Super Evan, yeah, I'm done. Fuck this shit. Peace sign.
Yeah. Yep. Classic.
Cloaksy, this isn't really related to the tournament because he didn't play. He's just a streamer. He said, good stream today, COD beta tomorrow. I think it's finally time to close the chapter on Warzone officially. Stream doesn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy it. Haven't over the last 3 years. Devs are lost. It's the same recycled meta stuff over and over again. Excited for Arc Raiders, Battlefield 6, and other FPS games. So there's another one.
Yep.
Some other guy, AWBZ, apart from us playing like shit, this has to be the worst esports tournament of all time. So unorganized and underprepared. Tell me why I can hear the guys behind me louder than my own team and game.
That was happening a lot. When you're watching Shifty, his mic was picking up every optic comm.
Yeah. There was a clip of Joe Woe also that randomly, like the official Call of Duty stream joined their TeamSpeak channel. I think
why are we using TeamSpeak, by the way? Yeah.
I think it's better for, I don't know, it must have better latency or something. That's what they usually use for a lot of those tournaments.
Yeah.
There's some reason they use it.
Right.
But then they joined on the live broadcast and the live broadcast like wasn't muted. So for like 20 seconds, they're trying to fight people and they're listening to the broadcast through their own headset because the broadcast joined their TeamSpeak channel.
Yeah.
Horrific fucking stuff.
Right.
And then last one here from Nick Cool, played for $1 million in a 1,500 square foot room that fit 200 people. That was a once in a lifetime experience right there.
Yeah.
So all in all, the TLDR is fucking horrific tournament, obviously. Right. And that's why the Brits won, because it was just bad. So the game's dead. This is going to be the final year of Warzone. Time to move on. Hope you guys enjoy multiplayer and you learn to love it, because Warzone is not going to be here much longer. Yeah.
And that leads us to another point, which is like, so Biffles is retiring from Warzone, which retiring from competitive Warzone. He's still going to play it in stream, obviously. He's 10 years old. Of course, he's not done working. He's just not doing competitive anymore, which is the correct play, by the way. Huskers alluded to the same thing, and quite a few other people did as well. And the thing about retiring from competitive Warzone is this. Actually, every single person there is also retiring from competitive Warzone.
Yeah, that's true.
And the reason for that, obviously, is that this was the final World Series of Warzone, and there will not be another one. And I hope that helps. Actually, they might do one more for 2026, to be fair. But that would be the last one for sure. We talked about this a lot on Patreon, so I won't go into it in too great of detail. But the thrust of it is pretty obvious. It's this. They are sunsetting Warzone. So we learned about like the blackout experience, which we're going to talk about more today. That's coming in BO7 early next year on Avalon. In addition to Warzone being available still on Verdansk.
Yeah.
Okay. And now compare World Series of Warzone this year to last year. What was the budget last year? They rented a way bigger venue. They hired security. They had
$3 billion.
A fucking audience, right? Way more production value. Way more fanfare, pomp and circumstance. And then you look at this year, and again, it was literally, I mean, it was dead ass like a conference room. Like it was a tiny little box that they shoved everyone into like sardines. And it was a much more poorly run tournament. I mean, again, it didn't start for literally 2 hours after it was supposed to have started. It was a whole just disaster because it's kind of an afterthought. So when you look at things like that, you look at the player counts, you look at the sentiment among all these streamers, not just the competitors, but like Cloaksy, he wasn't in the World Series of Warzone, and he's like, yeah, this shit's ass. Tim the Tapman has said the same, like a bunch of other Nick Merckx has said the same, a bunch of other popular people. And you just look at the Steam charts, you ask your friends who play or used to play Warzone, kind of a mass exodus. It's definitely falling off. It's been a while. That's pretty obvious. And you look at the popularity, supposedly, the actual popularity of casual mode with all the bots in it. And you get a really clear picture and a very obvious one. They're going to do what they said at COD Next. They're going to have Warzone on Verdansk and then Blackout Experience on Avalon. And then whose game comes out late 2026? Infinity Ward. The golden child.
Yep.
Who is responsible for all of the massive new game modes, such as Warzone and Warzone 2. They're the ones, and DMZ, they're the ones who do the big new game modes. Warzone's massively declining in popularity. They're not really substantially updating it this year, as we've learned from COD Next. Instead, they're doing a Blackout Experience on Avalon. What does all this mean? By 2027, Infinity Ward will be coming out with a new big-ass game mode. It could be development of the Blackout Experience on Avalon if that's popular. This is their plan. It won't be popular, though. So then they're going to pivot to, okay, Infinity Ward, March 2027, DMZ2, or something like it that has a lot of players, it's multiplayer, it's somewhat competitive, and there are lots of bots integral and a core aspect of the game, and it's developed with the idea of bots in mind because all of their metrics say people like playing against bots. Yeah. And once that comes out, they're going to say, by the way, we're done updating Warzone. We'll keep the servers on a little longer, but then we will unceremoniously pull the plug a couple months after that, just like they did with DMZ1. They said, hey, by the way, guys, no one fucking plays this. We're done updating it, but you can still play if you want. I don't even know if those servers are still running. That is what they will do to Warzone and or the Blackout Experience in lieu of, or in favor of rather, whatever Infinity Ward's new big mode is. So yeah, of course it makes sense to retire. Obviously. Yeah. You really don't have a choice. You could grind really hard for the chance at maybe one more World Series of Warzone that's going to have a $10 prize pool, and it's going to be online. So, like, what are we doing, guys? Of course they're retiring. So the writing's on the wall, and it's obvious. Warzone is getting sunsetted. Fuck.
That's a sunset. Yeah.
So, anyway.
I might pour one out tonight at the sunset for them, because, it's dead as fuck.
It's dead as fuck. So, with all that said, congratulations to FIFA Kill and his team. They did do very well. They were pretty dominant, like, every map. So, they kind of fucking
I turned it on
over, honestly.
For, 60 seconds, and then it hit me. I'm like, oh, this is on Verdansk. And they're using the guns that I used the last time I played Warzone in, March.
Yeah.
So see ya, and I turned it off.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
I just don't care. Fucking
Yeah, the
boring.
meta's the same. Yeah, nothing's happening. So we'll talk
Warzone's
more about
dead.
that.
MP is so back. That's what they're saying.
Basically right now, yeah. So anyway, moving on now to greener pastures. What is not dead and what is not going anywhere, however, is the franchise itself, for sure, nor multiplayer. In multiplayer, I am very pleased to report, is looking much more promising this next year than Warzone is. And again, we're mostly going to talk about that on Saturday, but just to give you guys some, some hope, it's not all bad. Like, BO7 multi looks actually quite fucking good. It's just Warzone really doesn't, which we're going to continue to get into now. So, all right. Here we have a BO7 Call of Duty Next recap. And the first section here is a little intro, and then it's multiplayer and zombies. And now it's into Warzone, which is the focus for today. And again, on Saturday, we'll talk about multiplayer, and we will have played the beta by then. The presenters, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's actually like genuinely nothing on Warzone in here. It's like 2 paragraphs. So yeah, it's cool stuff.
Not really much here. Yeah. But Raven has some tweets that we're going to look at as well. Cause there's more info there. The presenters turn their attention to Warzone, starting with an in-depth look at the new Haven's Hollow Resurgence map. Okay. So we have not talked about this yet. We did on Patreon, but not publicly. And then players also got a preview of the new signal station and the remastered factory POIs coming to Verdansk. Okay. So let's take these as they come. First is the new Resurgence map, Haven's Hollow. Now, I am on record having said, if they make Liberty Falls, the zombies map, into a Resurgence map, it would play horribly. However, after having looked at Haven's Hollow, which is not entirely Liberty Falls, there's more than Liberty Falls on Haven's Hollow, but all of Liberty Falls is within Haven's Hollow. The map itself, on whole, looks a lot better than I thought it would. And even the Liberty Falls section that I thought was going to be especially bad looks like it played actually fairly well. So I'm very happy to say that. It honestly looks like quite a good Resurgence map. Now, again, like we always say, I am by no means staking a claim on this or guaranteeing it's going to be a good Resurgence map. I won't know until I play it. But it's not immediately disqualified for looking awful. That's something we've said a lot, is that you can tell if a map's going to be bad by looking at it, but you can't tell if it's going to be good. So everything I saw of the gameplay and of the map itself looks solid. And I'm really happy about that, because we desperately fucking need, as we've been saying for months, a new map, man, somewhere. Ideally a new big map. We'll get into that. But a new Resurgence map is something. And it looks really good. And I'm pleased to report that. Yeah, visibility looks great. Looks like it would play solid. I think the layout is good. The highest point on the map is not also fucking dead center like Rebirth. Rebirth's a good map despite that, but I don't really love Prison Roof. It's complicated, but like, a better example is probably well, never mind. I don't know. But anyway, the map layout, it looks by and large pretty solid, and I'm very happy to say that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's it does give me some Fortune's Keep vibes.
A lot smaller.
Not
though.
sure if it would play as well as the original Fortune's Keep, but just from looking at it and seeing some gameplay, I could tell it'll certainly play better than the latest version of Fortune's Keep we got, where they just destroyed the whole middle area of the map, created a bunch of valleys, just ruined the whole flow of it.
Right.
Because this map has a few areas like that, but I think they're kind of, it is somewhat in the middle too, where they kind of have things like blown up, destroyed, but not as bad as Fortune's Keep was, how you can like drop down and go in a hole that's like 100 meters down there, basically.
Right.
So, yeah, it seems like it'll play decent. Initial thoughts, it'll be better than Area 99 for sure. Because I'm pretty sure that's also been the general sentiment from people who played it at COD Next. When most of them played Area 99, people were like, I'm not sure about this. And then this map, they're like, oh, okay, I'm like pleasantly surprised. Like the map plays fairly well.
Right.
And yeah, it looks decent.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really good news for Warzone players. The downside is, number one, I'm actually not positive about that. We haven't played it. And even the people that did play it didn't play it enough to give it a really solid, rating. But assuming it's good, which I think it will be, that's really good. But the downside is it's a resurgence map. And most Warzone players want to play on a big map. That's good and fun. Which leads us to our next thing. What new big map do we have coming?
Anymore, yeah.
Well, it isn't anymore because we're playing still on Verdansk, and we'll continue to. So we got a preview of the new Signal Station and remastered factory POIs coming to Verdansk. So that's what we're getting for big map, guys, next year. We're getting, for big map Warzone, Verdansk still. What are the changes? Okay, well, one of them is the factory POI that we've already seen before. Okay. Now, let me be clear. That's a good POI. I like that POI.
Yeah,
I think it's
great POI.
It's solid in Verdansk, and I think it makes that map better. But it's also not new, and it's not that groundbreaking, if I'm being honest. Factory on Caldera is a 10 out of 10 perfect new POI that's ever been added to Warzone. There's never been a POI added to any map ever in Warzone better than Factory Caldera, and it isn't close. That changed the whole fucking flow of the entire map, because it was quite central, it had a buy, it had nutty loot, and it was fun to fight there and from and push. It was really, really fucking good. Factory Verdansk is not that. It's a good POI, and I'd rather it be there than not, but it's not changing the whole game. It just isn't. And I don't expect every POI to be a 10 out of 10 that gets added to the map. Let me be clear. But if we are going to get a recycled POI, I'd really rather it be a 10 out of 10. There are no 10 out of 10 POIs on Verdansk, though. So that's out of the... I'm dead ass. And that's out of the question. And I'm so dead ass there aren't, because it's not a good map, and it's just not new. It's not new. We've already seen this before, and I expected to get all of the rehashed map changes to Verdansk that we had gotten before 5 years ago, like train station opening and factory and the stadium opening. I expected all of that to be done by season 6. So that when BO7 integration comes, we get either another big map or a massive brand new POI or some other very transformative change to Verdansk. But instead, all the way in BO7 integration, all we're getting is another POI we've seen before. That's a good one, but it's not really groundbreaking. Oh, but what about the signal station? What the fuck about it? It's on the edge of the map on fucking Summit.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, guys. Let's assume Signal Station was a good POI, which is by no means clear to me, by the way. It looked fine. It looked fine.
Yeah. It's better than what's there currently, yeah.
Yeah, it looked fine. But here's the interesting thing about it, guys, right? It's at Summit. How often in a match of Verdansk are you at Summit if you don't explicitly intend on going there? I'm not joking. 1 out of 12 games? Like, you're not going to find yourself there. It's on the edge of the map, and it's even worse than being on the edge of the map because it's also 8 kilometers in the air. So you have to go to one of the rappels or fly up there or take the fucking stairs. It's a giant pain in the ass to get up there. And unless it's ending there, or you land there, or regain there, you're not going to really be there ever. So then the question is, how often does it end its fucking summit? Again, like I said, 1 out of 12
So apparently it's
times.
not at summit. I have no clue.
Oh, is it not? Oops. Where is it?
Supposedly on the edge of the map up there still, but it's like near military.
It's near military and favorite. Okay, so Okay, it's not quite at summit, so it's a little northeast of or east of it, right? Let me pull up a map here.
I haven't seen it.
I don't know why I thought it was at summit then. Let me see.
Well, because we watched was the COD Next gameplay of it, and it literally just looked like they were at summit. So does the POI just look like summit then?
Okay, so I'm pulling up an image here. Oh, okay. Okay.
What image are you looking at?
I'm on Dexerto.com.
Oh, you're on okay.
So here's an overview of it. Okay. Oh, well, that's better.
Oh, I see. So it's right where that monument was, like Jake's saying.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. I mean, okay, fine. Yeah. That's cool.
Okay, so
I just wonder how much it tears up that area, because that was like a nice area actually before. I almost wonder if this makes it worse, but again, it's for Dansk, who fucking
I don't think there was much going on here. So I'll say this, look, this is way better than I thought. I thought it was at summit, which you guys can see, if you can see my cursor, which you can, the pink one on the top right. This is summit. This is where I thought this was, but it's not. You go all the way east, and then I guess a little southeast actually is Signal Station. This is a way better spot that's way more impactful. However, still not that impactful, I don't think. So instead of seeing it 1 out of 12 games, you're probably seeing it 1 out of 5, 1 out of 7. Still not super often, unless you're landing here. And again, this is all setting aside, like, is it a good POI? Is it fun to fight at? From what I've seen, it looks maybe okay. 5 out of 10. I'd have to go there myself, obviously. So again, like anything, you won't know till you play it. But just look at it. It's not that large. And it doesn't look that, from what I've seen, that super fun or cool to fight at. And then
looks fine.
I don't know how the loot is either. That's another thing. So like, if you get a new POI and it's not dead center of the map or very close to one of the real hotspots, you either have to make it a hotspot basically for it to be impactful. And there are a couple ways you can do that. One way is you give it fucking nasty loot. So if the loot here is really good, and obviously this is dynamic, they can change it. So maybe it will have good loot sometimes or all the time or never. But if you give it really good loot, this is a fairly impactful change and cool, good. If the loot isn't that good, it doesn't really seem like there's any reason to go here, because the fights don't look that fun. There may or may not be a buy here. But also, like, where am I going after this? There's no balloons. There is a helicopter, actually. So that's actually a pretty good drop spot. That's a good addition, is the helicopter. But their big selling point was the fucking heat maps, where you go in here and you, like, click a button on the computer in the Signal Station, and it shows you a hex grid of the entire map that's color-coded for how many enemies are on the map. And of course, because the devs have never played Warzone before, are saying, oh, this is a really good thing to do because you could drop here and then hit the heat map and then go fight people that you find there. And it's just so fucking insane to think that people would do this. You can land here, that's fine. But you're getting virtually no utility out of that fucking heat map, and that's on mamas. You know what you should do instead? Land somewhere with a lot of loot so that you can buy an advanced UAV and know exactly where people are without having to fucking take a screenshot of the computer monitor when you hit the button and then pull it up on your second monitor and then fly around and hope the people are still in the same grid by the time you get there. It's insane, obviously. So that just bothered me. Not that that's a bad feature, but they, of course, massively overstated it and made it seem like this was something anyone would actually do. Kind of like when one or two of the lead devs of Warzone said, oh yeah, by the way, we often will buy another loadout going into endgame based on where the map is ending. So, oh, okay, it's going to end without any buildings. I have a loadout and I'm going to go loot money to buy another loadout because my loadout is not capable of fighting in the terrain we're going to. That's insane. No one plays that way. And your loadout's fucking awful if that's true. So, but of course they've never played before. So no one does that. And that's just, this is more evidence of that. No one's going to use this in the way they think they will. It's cute, neat little gimmick, but whatever. With all that said, though, now that I know exactly where this is a solid addition, potentially. But again, I expected this by season 6 or season 5, honestly. We got Verdansk, season 3 of this year?
Yep. We
had some old map changes to go through. Would have loved to have seen them much sooner, but they're slow rolling this so hard that we're not even getting the old map changes done until next year, like when they're adding the factory POI. It would have been cool to get this season 5, and then season 5 reloaded, maybe add another old one, and then season 6 another new POI, and then when the integration happens, a very big or impactful new POI, or a huge map change entirely. They love to make earthquakes. Do that. Change it up in some way. But the reality is, it doesn't matter. Everyone's bored of Verdansk. So even if this had been a perfect POI, like everyone was saying about COD Next, no one wants to be playing Verdansk. No, I'm pulling teeth here, trying to get people to play Verdansk. New POI or not. And the reality is, I don't think there's basically anything they could do to Verdansk to get people excited about Verdansk. It doesn't matter what POIs you add, whether they're new or rehashed, whether you change the skybox, anything. It's Verdansk. We're done with it. So that's another thing we got. But I stand corrected. This does look better than I thought it was. It just isn't enough, obviously. And like you can tell that from everyone at COD Next not wanting to play it because they don't care, because it's on Verdansk and everyone's tired of it.
Yeah, there were some people complaining about that because they played Verdansk longer than like everything else, and they're like, okay, there are 2 new POIs, like why are we playing this for so long? So that's cool. Yeah, it looks fine. But I mean, I'm not playing Warzone at all. I would gladly play some multiplayer, but Warzone, like, this isn't going to get me on the game. Not of course, Verdansk, I guess. I would get on and play Haven's Hollow when all that drops, but like, I'm not queuing for a big map until March of next year.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
And I think most people will be that way. Yeah.
Verdansk
will every playlist for Verdansk will probably be casual mode. Actually, there will maybe be one that doesn't have casual mode to start, because people hopping on Warzone, they're just gonna play Haven's Hollow because it's new, and then after a month they'll all hate it. Rebirth will come back, and then they'll be playing that again.
Yeah, because people are fucking sick of Verdansk, dude. I think I said this on Patreon. It's like I'm so glad and I feel so vindicated that finally I'm seeing a lot of other people saying like, dude, we are so tired of Verdansk. Maybe it just took them longer to get there, or I wasn't seeing it, or they weren't saying it. But Jesus Christ, man, I'm so done with Verdansk. I don't care what you do to it. But at least do a lot more than you've done on this time span, because holy shit, they are slow rolling it, and that's only adding to the fatigue. So anyway, a couple other things we got. But Signal Station looks potentially good, so I want to be fair. Cool.
Yeah.
Insofar as it matters. Anyway, the devs discussed some of the upcoming gameplay changes. As in BO7, there's no default tac sprint, but all operators' baseline movement speed will be increased. This is just a good change. And from watching the beta and COD Next multiplayer movement, That's a really good thing because it does help tremendously not having tac sprint and having just a base faster move speed. So that aspect of BO7 coming to Warzone is a really good thing, and I'm glad to see it, although it really wasn't too much in question probably. But this is nonetheless quite good. Players can access enhanced movement with perk options, such as the combat roll as part of the Mountaineer perk, and tac sprint as part of the sprinter perk. So don't run a perk to use tac sprint, obviously.
Yeah, don't ever use that.
Yeah.
Unless the speed boost is like 10%, but otherwise certainly don't use it. Yeah.
Yeah, obviously. So that doesn't matter. But the combat roll as part of the Mountaineer perk, for those of you who don't remember what that is, they showcased this, or talked about it rather, when we talked about Skirmish, which is going to be like the ground war version of BO7 on the 2 big maps for multiplayer. In that mode, you can do things you can't do in regular multi. One of those things is a combat roll. So if you jump from somewhere high, when you land, you can roll to take less damage and or not die. I'm not totally clear on how it works. That is not going to be default in Warzone, but that functionality will exist if you have Mountaineer. Okay. I don't know enough about this to really say. But honestly, this sounds just like a nerf to Mountaineer. I'd rather have Mountaineer where I can drop from farther without dying and not have to get animation locked when I land. But now I am animation locked when I land.
I don't know how it works. I don't know how exactly it works. I don't know if they put detail out on it because I didn't see any actual details on it other than the fact that there's a combat roll now. So yeah. And then also the combat roll, a lot of people are talking about this. It's in a third-person animation. Supposedly, it might be a setting. But
almost
the
everyone
third-person
was saying
animation
it's a setting. Yeah,
looks absolutely terrible. So yeah, hopefully
Yeah.
it doesn't lock you into that because it's a jarring jumping off a building in Warzone and then getting stuck in like a 1-second third-person rolling animation. It doesn't make any sense.
it's weird. It's very weird looking. Yeah. So, but anyway, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a huge deal almost no matter what. But it sounds to me like a bit of a nerf to the Mountaineer perk, but I could be wrong. Anyway. Overall, perks have been shifted around and adjusted along with other changes to improve the experience. There's now a 5 attachment limit on weapons, and wild cards are removed. No wild cards in Warzone.
Wasn't sure they were going to do it.
We
Been
didn't
saying
think
they should
they
do
were
it
going to do it.
since like 2 days into the launch of Warzone last year, maybe
Obviously.
even before Warzone launch. It was obvious that wild cards weren't going to work very well. They spent months trying to work on them, trying to balance them, changing them. So it never made sense. I had hoped last year they would just remove them, but they didn't. So glad to see they're going forward without them.
Yes. Agree. I credit to them. I did not think they were going to do it, and they did. That's really good. Let that be a multiplayer thing. It makes way more sense. It's way easier to balance. It's way less dev time. So this is just very good. The slight downside maybe here is that you are now locked to 5 attachments on your guns. You can't opt for primary gunfighter and go 8, as far as I understand. There might be a perk that's going to let you do that, maybe.
Nope.
I guess we'll know by Saturday, but that's fine. They
also talked about the dev, Matt. He's a dev for Treyarch, but it still stands still. He had tweeted like a week ago about you guys are kind of seeing it now, but a focus this year was making gunplay more refined and removing, things like visual shake, smoke, to make it a better overall experience. And I think he even specifically said too, like, especially for our keyboard and mouse players. So if that is also improved, which actually they've improved that a lot throughout this game's life cycle. We just haven't played it, but they have made all that stuff better. Then like that kind of makes it so you wouldn't need 8 attachments anyways, because your gun's going to be more controllable, hopefully. And it just, I think the whole wildcard system it kind of added some confusion. It kind of slowed down the pace almost of some things. It's just better with default overkill. Just grab your kit and go. Yeah. It was little things you had to do before, which ended up taking up couple minutes of your time at the start of a match, and when the matches are only 20 minutes or so, that ends up being a lot to do that you don't necessarily want to do if you want to play with the meta, which is you're kind of forced into that. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, totally agree. And that's another thing, I don't know if they say it here, but on top of wildcards being removed, overkill is now going to be default. Good. Yeah. We figured this out years ago and then took it away for some reason, and now we're adding it back. Good. Yeah. Just again streamlines the game. And in fact, this will be the most streamlined version, because now you won't have to consider, oh, let me get primary gunfighter on this class, and then, the what's the box called on the next one, or get my 8 attachment this gun and then buy, whatever, some other 8 attachment gun. Not that anyone really did that, but now it's like, okay, I'm just going to get my loadout. Is going to have the 2 guns I want with 5 attachments and the perks I want, and I'm not missing anything. I don't need to get a second loadout. I don't need to get a second loadout for Ghost like I used to have to do years ago. I don't have to get a second loadout for another gun. This is just really nice, and it speeds up the game having it this way. So taking out the wild cards and having overkill default, finally, I can just hit a loadout and I'm done. I have the best class I can get. I'm not missing out on anything. So this is really, really good. And I'm happy to see it. They discussed the new Phantom Signal tactical item.
We'll get
the
into
needle
those
drone
with
and
the
sight
tweets.
grenade. And we'll get into those with the tweets. Some other shit.
Something we can mention here now, because it's not mentioned anywhere else, I don't think, we haven't said, is there will not be wall jumping in Warzone. At least as of now.
They didn't mention that anywhere? That's crazy.
Not in this blog post. And
I believe you. I'm just saying. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
I mean, it's obviously, like, they talked about it at COD Next, and I saw some tweets about it, but like the Raven Twitter, I don't think had anything about it, of course. So
I'm not sure they did talk about it at COD Next, because when Biffle first started playing Haven's Hollow, his whole chat was asking him, hey, is there wall jumping? And he tried it, and he goes, no, there's not. Maybe they did later. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, no wall jumping, guys. That would have been potentially the most impactful new mechanic to get added to Warzone. Definitely, actually. I mean, and we're not getting it. Now, I am on record having said I don't think wall jump's actually that big of a deal. And even if we do get it, I don't think it would change very much. I watched some of the beta gameplay, and there are some nasty outplays you can do with just wall jumping. So, like, for example, Aiden was on a wall holding a corner. Some guy was pushing toward him. Aiden was weak. So he just wall jumped right on that corner. So as the guy rounded, Aiden was in the air, got behind him, and then just slammed his shit, which he couldn't have done without wall jumping. So then right there, that's all cool. I needed to see. I was like, oh, okay. This is more than just moving the map, but different style. You can actually do like some pretty cool outplays with this. That's dope. So it is more impactful than I thought it was going to be. So I want to just say that, and I'm sure I'll mention that more on Saturday. Which is kind of which is really too bad to see it not come to Warzone. You know, I wouldn't care very much if the wall jump were not coming to Warzone, if it were as unimpactful as I thought it was going to be. But having seen it more, it does have some impact, but it's not coming to Warzone. Why? We're taking away tac sprint in Warzone. Why can't we, like we are in the multiplayer, why can't we get the wall jumping? What's the deal there? And that's kind of it. So we've given you all of the changes to Warzone. Let me recap them. A new resurgence map, which looks good. Cool. No more tac sprint. Everyone just moves faster by default. Good. Overkill by default. Good. Some perk changes and stuff, and new weapons. New UI. Okay, sure. The factory POI, which we've seen before on Verdansk. An improvement, but okay. Signal station. Looks like it could potentially be a fairly good new, genuinely new POI in Verdansk. Good. That's it. That might sound like a lot. And that might sound like an improvement over what we have now. And here's the thing. It is an improvement. Basically, every change they're making to Big Map is for the better. So Big Map, Verdansk Warzone, will play better, assuming it's not a buggy fucking mess, which eventually they'll iron out, after the integration than it will before. In a lot of different ways. The ones I just mentioned. But none of that's super transformative. Oh, another thing is, again, the new weapons. That's going to change a lot because, you know, the meta's going to be different. I don't know what the time to kill is going to be like with these guns, by the way. That's another very interesting question I have. Is the time to kill going to get slower? Is it going to get faster? Is it going to be about the same? Very curious to see. That would probably be the biggest change, is the time to kill difference. So yeah, Warzone's going to get better, but it's not going to get much different. Going to be honest. And to be clear, I've seen people poo-pooing this viewpoint, because a lot of people are saying what I just said on Twitter, and some people are countering that and saying, you guys bitch and moan when they have some revolutionary, crazy new innovation, and you don't want it. But then now you're also bitching and moaning when there isn't a crazy new big revolution innovation. Here's the thing that those people are missing. If the game is bad or stale, that's when we do want a big innovation. Fucking change the game. I'm bored or I'm bugged because the game is bad or it's boring, right? Mm-hmm. When the game is good and fun and functioning well, don't innovate. That's the key component that we're missing, right? And we saw this with MW3 multiplayer. Wasn't that innovative? Or Warzone, as a matter of fact. MW3 Warzone, excuse me. Not that innovative. Not much changed. They just made it way fucking better and more fun. Oh, I'm sorry. MW3 Warzone was usually different because it was after Warzone 2. But the thing is, I do want some shit that's way fucking different and way more groundbreaking when I'm bored, or again, when I'm bugged that the game is really bad. The game is fine right now. I can see and hear people quite well, and it's not a buggy mess. People aren't killing me through walls or under the map or anything. That's all good, but I am fucking bored, and a lot of people are. Because Verdansk is boring, and Rebirth is boring. Rebirth, some people still play it and have fun. It shouldn't go away, but we could use a new one, and we got a new one. Good. Yeah. What about people that like Big Map? That used to be the majority. It isn't anymore because they forced all those people to quit or become Rebirth mains. But they would go back to being Big Map mains if there were a fun new Big Map to play. And there isn't. So we're not getting a new Big Map, nor are we getting any real big innovations. To be clear, wall jumping wouldn't have been enough anyway. So even if we were getting wall jumping, I would still be sitting here and saying, that doesn't get me super excited to go play Verdansk, honestly. Like the all the changes plus the POIs plus wall jumping wouldn't have got me excited to play Verdansk. I'm fucking done with that map. And everyone who's tired of Verdansk agrees. You would have to have a massive gameplay change, like jetpacks, for example. Okay, now we're talking. I'll go try Verdansk with fucking jetpacks, because that's a gigantic change, gigantic innovation. Mm-hmm. And I could endure the tedium of playing a toddler-aged map if we get fucking jetpacks. But we were never getting jetpacks. We didn't get jetpacks. And we didn't even get the fucking wall jumping, which again wouldn't have even been enough. So those people are saying, oh, you guys want innovations and you don't. Pick one. Again, it depends on the time. And right now we do need something big. We need a new map. Oh, but we're getting a new map. And that leads to our next point. We are getting a new map. It's called Avalon. But here's the thing that they explicitly said on COD Next when they announced Avalon. I might be jumping the gun here, so if I miss some details,
no, it's not in the tweets either.
I've got it.
Not the Raven tweets. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not jumping the gun.
It's somewhere. There's too many places where their info. Treyarch Twitter, Raven Twitter,
Yeah.
Call of Duty Twitter. This
Right.
blog post that lists nothing. Then there's a bunch of things said at COD Next that aren't said on here. Then Charlie Intel said other thing. I mean, who fucking knows?
Right. So we're getting Avalon, and it is going to be, let's see. Are we fucking dead ass? It's not in this entire blog post. I'm going to fucking freak out, dude. Let me, hold on.
I don't know, man.
Control F Avalon. Let me see. It's all red
Like,
in the background.
Like, we're almost done with the Warzone section. That's what I'm saying.
Phrase not found. Are we dead ass, dude? This is the callofduty.com blog post, Call of Duty BO7 Next recap, and the word Avalon is nowhere to be found? Are we dead ass? I hate this
Call
fucking
of Duty
company.
Next recap. Yeah.
The word Avalon isn't there. So, and I guess it's not on Raven's Twitter either. It's mind-blowing. So the only place you'd know this is if you watched it. God forbid you look at the recap of it and one of the biggest announcements isn't on there.
It might be in the Raven Twitter somewhere, but
yeah, maybe. Whatever. Put it in the fucking blog post of the recap. It was one of the biggest announcements there.
Post, yeah.
Obviously. So anyway, we'll recap it for you. We're getting Avalon. New big map. Okay, cool, Raz. All of your fears are allayed. We're getting a new big map, so stop bitching. Well, but here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. And I listened very closely, okay? And I listened to the entire announcement. And here's what she said. She said, prepare, something to the effect of, prepare for Avalon in a new blackout experience.
Yeah.
And I said, harumph, that's interesting. What the motherfuck does that mean? And for those of you who don't know what blackout experience means, I don't either. Blackout was the BR from Black Ops 7, or excuse me, Black Ops 4.
Black Ops, yep.
It had backpacks. It had no loadouts, so it was like loot only. It had manual health regens. You had to like bandage yourself and shit. And other things. I never played it, but it was way different than Warzone is. It's also 8 years old. Of course it's different, obviously. So what does blackout experience mean? Don't know. But
nobody knows. Yeah.
And no one knows because they didn't say. But it's almost guaranteed part of it is going to be no loadouts. So I said, wow, okay, well, I'll skip the blackout experience on Avalon. Thanks. I'll just play Warzone. And then Tanner and I chuckled and hurrayed. And then we kept playing the video. And then her co-announcer was like, okay, so to be clear, we're going to be able to play on Avalon in a blackout experience. Are we still going to be able to play Verdansk? And then she said, you will be able to play either. And that's a key word here, right? Either. It's a disjunction. Warzone on Verdansk.
Yep.
Or blackout experience on Avalon. And then everybody clapped. And that was the end of the announcement. So to the critical ear, what you gather from that is, it's very heavily implied that you will not be able to play Warzone on Avalon. You will be able to play Blackout on Avalon or Warzone on Verdansk. Fucking yikes. Yikes. You guys can go watch the announcement yourselves and tell me if you're hearing something different. plans do change, or she misspoke. Those are possibilities. But if what she said is accurate, you won't be able to play Warzone on Avalon, actually. You'll only be able to play a Blackout experience. And why is that so bad? Well, because the Blackout experience will faceplant catastrophically in a way we've only seen with Warzone 2. And I'll tell you how this is going to go. It's going to come out. A motherfuckload of people are going to play it for a week. And then they're going to say, man, I miss loadouts, actually. This shit's kind of ass. I'm kind of done dragging and dropping a red dot sight onto an MP5. I'd rather just have a loadout. And if Blackout experience means fucking anything, it almost certainly means no loadouts. Because that, to me, from what I understand of Blackout, and I've looked into it and asked people, that is by far the biggest difference between Warzone and Blackout, is that Warzone has the loadout system where you build your own guns and your own perks and you use your own shit. Blackout did not. It was more of a traditional BR. Now, traditional BRs are cool if you're into that. But if you're a Warzone player...
In 2018, they were cool, yeah.
Well, exactly. If you're a Warzone player, you are not into that. Warzone players are not classic BR players. If they were, they wouldn't be playing fucking Warzone. In fact, the only unique aspect of the Call of Duty BR is that it is not a classic BR because there are loadouts. So if you take away the loadouts, which is almost certainly what a Blackout experience means, everyone hated that. No one's going to like it. They're going to get bored of it so fucking fast. On top of all of the other mechanical changes I've read about Blackout, all say to me, everything is just slower in Blackout. The movement is slower. The healing is slower. Getting your guns is slower. On top of no loadouts, Call of Duty players, Warzone players, certainly Resurgence players, are going to hate all of that. They don't want the game to get slower. I don't know if it was
slower. I don't think it was slower because I think the map was much smaller. Well, you also had like grappling hooks and shit. I don't think it was slower. It also, like, if you go and watch gameplay now,
in Warzone, so I mean,
yeah, but I don't know. Like, all the gameplay I've seen, it's never struck me as being slow at all, ever. The only thing that might make it appear slow when you watch gameplay is everybody was on console playing it, and the field of view was like 70, so it just looks slower. But I don't think it was very slow because it was the map size difference.
Sure. When I say slow, I don't mean like literal movement speed. I think it will move more slowly than Warzone, but more than what I mean is if I have to manually heal, and I have seen the bandage animation, that's going to slow the game down. Slower than plating. On top of plating, actually, I think. So you have to plate and bandage. That slows the game down. If I have to manually loot everything and then add attachments and shit, that's going to slow the game down. Because that's competing with hitting my loadout and I'm done. I have all my shit equipped and attached and I'm good to go. So if I have to manually heal, if I have to find heals to manually heal, and if I have to manually loot and manually equip attachments and shit and sort through a backpack, that's also going to slow the game down. So maybe you can move more quickly. That's possible. I don't know. And we don't know what a Blackout experience is, to be clear. So, but if we compare Warzone right now to Blackout from BO4, the pace is faster in Warzone, even on Verdansk, even without balloons, let alone with balloons. Because you don't have to stop and heal or equip shit or sort through a fucking backpack. That's what I mean. And Warzone players will not like that. They just won't. I guarantee it. And this is why, this is another data point to support they are sunsetting Warzone, is they're willing to try this. I mean, they have to be wildly out of touch, or they're very liberally using the phrase Blackout experience, in which there will be loadouts and you won't manual heal, and then what makes it a Blackout experience and not just Warzone. And they just don't care that it's likely to fail, because it won't matter. So they're going to say, oh, here's a Blackout experience. Here's some nostalgia bait for 6 months. We don't know if it's going to be popular or not. It probably won't be, but didn't ask you guys. We've never cared about what you think, and we certainly don't now, because no matter what happens, whether Blackout's awesome or shit, which it will be shit, or Warzone is awesome or shit, it'll be middling. Doesn't matter, because we're turning off support for it in next year when Infinity Ward DMZ2 comes out in March. So we don't care if it flops. It'll be something new to tide you guys over and give the COD partners a couple things to make YouTube videos about, and then we're on to the next, baby, because we are fucking done with this. So that's what's going to happen. And it's a real shame, a travesty even, that it seems now we won't be able to play Warzone on Avalon.
Here's what they should have done. They should have just changed Warzone from Verdansk to Avalon, and then for the Blackout experience, they should have just brought back the Blackout map. Because I feel like that's what, when people talk about like the older games, like, oh, like I loved this, I'm not sure people understand their love for a certain map. So like these people that claim they love Blackout, I bet, again, we've never played it. We weren't able to. I bet a lot of them just really enjoyed the map, and that's one of the main things. So when you get the Blackout experience, whatever that means, on a new map, Avalon, I don't think it's going to hit even close to what people are thinking it'll be like. But, you know,
and Avalon's again, also a way bigger map than the Blackout map is, from my understanding, right?
I believe, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's the real travesty here. I can't believe it's not in the blog post, but whatever. But yeah, that's a shame. So like, I will play the fuck out of Avalon Blackout experience, and I'm sure I'll have fun for a couple of weeks. But if there aren't loadouts, which is the one shining light saving grace of all of Warzone, then it's going to be just another fuck ass BR where you loot shit, and it pales in comparison to even Warzone, let alone other BRs. When is PUBG 2 coming out? You know, like, I don't know. I don't, they're trying to appeal. I don't know who they're trying to appeal to is my point, I guess. Cause it's certainly not Warzone players. It certainly isn't Warzone players, cause they're all going to fucking hate this. They don't want anything like a classic traditional BR experience, and everything from Blackout is a step toward classic BR.
Yeah.
Look at their fucking, I mean, yeah. Look at the popularity of Resurgence. They kind of did that themselves, to be fair, but still, like, people just want to shoot shit. They don't want to loot. They don't want to think about, oh, should I have an extra bandage, or should I pick up another mag of, like, ammo? They don't want to do that. They want it all to be neatly compact and easy. I run over a body and I'm done, and I can go do other shit. So it's just a real fucking shame. And again, plans can change. Maybe, or she misspoke. And maybe we will be able to play Avalon Warzone. And that is the kind of thing I have been saying for months now would be what Warzone needs for a shot at some kind of, you know, return to form. Yeah. We are done with Verdansk, dude. And if we have to play Verdansk for another whole ass year to play Warzone big map, that's really unfortunate. Because again, there's like nothing they can do to Verdansk to get the people that are sick of it onto it. There just isn't. There's nothing they can do. And Avalon would have been the thing, but it doesn't sound like we're getting that. So if we do get it, who knows when? But again, even if we were getting it, it would all be a moot point. It would all be a moot point. The only way, the only universe in which Warzone sticks around for another couple years is they do Avalon Warzone or some other new big map Warzone, and it's very good. And the player count grows. Then they could be like, all right, hold on. Let's keep supporting this. Let's keep doing this when Infinity Ward comes in for 2027. Barring that, which is the odds of which by this point are infinitesimal. I mean, it's not happening. It's just not. It does. So that's why I'm saying, even if we got Avalon Big Map Warzone, wouldn't matter because Warzone's done. This will be the last year of Warzone, 2026. And then we'll move on to DMZ2 bot extravaganza or whatever in 2027. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So it would have been great, but it wouldn't have mattered ultimately. But even that we didn't get. Avalon Big Map.
I mean, we also could. We also could end up being totally surprised at whatever Blackout experience means. Maybe it's been what Warzone has needed for a year plus now. Maybe it is some sort of innovation, and somehow there will be a system that's not ground loot, but it's also not loadout that we just can't think of. That's also entirely possible too. So we'll see.
We'll see. And they're being real close to the vest with what it means. I haven't seen a single goddamn thing. So look, it's possible the Blackout experience is just what COD BR needed. But I just don't see it. I don't know what Blackout experience could mean and not be wildly unpopular among Warzone fans. Almost every single thing Blackout had that Warzone doesn't seems to me just less popular with the player base than what we have in Warzone. It all seems like it would be more poorly received than the Warzone mechanics. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I could be wrong. I don't know. And again, like Jake pointed out in Discord, we have no idea what the casual player thinks. So I could be totally wrong. Like, I don't think a casual wants to look through a backpack and pick between which optic to use and have to manually bandage, but maybe they do. Maybe they do. I don't know.
Yeah.
Really doesn't seem that way to me, but I could be wrong. So yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but there's another bet I would love to take with anyone who wants it. They will sunset Warzone by February or March of 2027. That's really what it's looking like to me. So, and this fine.
Mode
had a good run. Go ahead, sorry.
This mode should come out in like March. That's what people are thinking.
Yeah.
March. So between February and April, it'll come out. So probably March. But yeah, I mean, Warzone's been around for a while already. 5 years for a game like this to remain as popular as it still is. That's a long time.
Yeah. Warzone had a good run. But I mean, this is the beginning of the end. If the World Series of Warzone and COD Next did not convince you of that, if me connecting the dots did not convince you of that, I would love to be told how I'm wrong and what I'm missing. But I mean, boy, if there's anything I think about the future here, it is that they are offboarding Warzone permanently in lieu of some new thing by some new name. But you guys let me know. So anyway. Anarchist, yeah! Paying it forward with the gifted sub to Bates, who said the only blackout I be doing is 20 beers, baby. Based Bates. Really so good funny stuff. And Based Anarchist 61. Change your ideology. But we love the gifted sub, King. Thank you very much. Very kind of you paying it forward. Also, there was no respawn in Blackout. It's another thing, too. Yeah. I don't know if there were buybacks in Blackout. I don't know if there were, beacons like there are in, what is it? Apex. But there are fewer regain mechanics. Ted said people hated that and they added redeploy packs and went way overboard. Way overcorrected. But they did it for a reason. It's because people didn't like it, probably. So yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the rationale behind the Blackout experience, unless, like you said, it means something way different than I'm thinking. So, and then we do have Raven's Twitter. I don't know what exactly is going to be here that we haven't talked about yet, but we'll do a little scrolling because there evidently were a motherfuckload of tweets.
Most of it was actually,
So here we go.
Weren't a motherfuckload at all, but yeah.
Okay, let's see. So they do Haven's Hollow. They do a little POI breakdown. Go watch COD Next. I don't know. Like, the map looks pretty good. I'm not sure really what to say until I play it. Yeah, the visibility looks really good, which is cool.
There are the areas of Liberty Falls zombie map there, but even those are a little bit different. It also just looks a lot better because it's sunny out.
Right.
And yeah, just the whole vibe of the map is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
I just hope it plays well.
Yeah. Okay, this is interesting. Our weapon philosophy in Warzone this year is key, tweeted Raven. Weapons are being curated to have clearly defined roles with the most competitive and meaningful attachment choices we've seen yet. We've also removed wildcards, overkill default. Yeah, okay. So weapons are being curated to have clearly defined roles with the most competitive. Okay, so then
this means nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all a meaningless statement, actually. Yeah,
dev speak.
That's dev speak. So the goal at Raven is to shake up the meta more often and tune attachments and gameplay to ensure strong competitive something or other. Those are good words. That's Caldera era Warzone did a lot of things wrong, but what they did right was they patched the game fucking twice a week, and I'm dead ass. And they said, hey, we changed the first damage range of this gun from 7.12 meters to 7.10 meters. Hope that helps. And a bunch of other tiny little changes, constantly fine-tuning. If they do that again this year, that would be great. Raven was so active, so mixy during Caldera. And they overcooked a lot, as we've talked about at the time. You guys can go watch. But at least they were talking to us all the time about what they're doing and why they're doing it. And they were doing shit all the time. The game was not stale at all. You could say a lot of bad things about Caldera, but you can't say it was stale. That whole year was tumultuous. I mean, we were getting changes all the goddamn time. We had Godzilla coming out of the ocean. That was too much. Hey, we've overcooked with that one, but it was different. Meanwhile, in Verdansk, it's the same map. It's the same. I've recognized it from fucking 6 years ago. On Raven, I wouldn't recognize it from last week. So that's let's go that way. Let's go that way. Let's go that way. So they say they're going to do that. Cool. We'll certainly fucking see. And Ted Timmons is gone, as a reminder, so we will certainly fucking see. Anyway, perks in Warzone are being rebalanced. We're shaking up the categories, combining underutilized options, and adding new effects. Our goal is to make the perks the most competitive they've ever been. That's also a good sign, particularly combining, underutilized options. That's good fucking news for the perks, because this has always been the case, and I think it kind of always will be the case in Call of Duty generally, Warzone and multiplayer. There's always going to be like the best perks, and there's always going to be perks you basically never want to run. And that's always, of course, been true in Warzone. That will still be true, to be clear. But if they combine some underutilized ones, so they combine the effects of, whatever. Man, I don't remember the underutilized ones because I don't use them. You'll figure it out, and you'll figure it out too. Then you might want to use that one because, this perk by itself, I'm never picking over that one nor this one. But if they do a combo pack, that's actually decent enough to be worth in that slot. That's a really good way to do perk balance or start. So that's really good. We actually did see this with, I think, in MW 3. They combined the perk tune-up, maybe, where you res your teammates faster, with some other perk to get Survivor, where you become resed faster. That's a really clever way to update a perk and make it meaningful, but not really overpowered. And that's exactly what Survivor ended up being, insofar as it worked and didn't bug you and become unresable, which was the case for months and 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 months in Warzone. So that's cool. So if they keep going that way, that's good.
So by the way, this tweet, the more interesting thing is it shows a few of the perks. So it shows Mountaineer here. Gain damage negation when falling. Increases the height before you would take critical fall damage by 5 meters. Okay. It says you can use combat roll to further reduce damage by 10% and avoid the movement penalty from high falls. Increases ladder climb speed by 10%. What do you mean you can use combat roll? So maybe when you're in the air, is there like a button you have to press before you hit the ground to do the combat roll, or when you're hitting the ground? I don't know what that means. So got that. So that's Mountaineer. Sprinter says improve sprinting and movement. You can use tactical sprint. You can reload with tactical sprint. Reduce penalties for movement when reloading and using equipment. Okay, and then what else does it show? Survivor.
That also makes that generation and somewhat attractive. Reload while tac sprint's pretty interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Not worth it still, but yeah.
Yeah. Improves health regeneration and revives. Your health will start regenerating after 4 seconds. Your allies will revive you faster. I feel like it looks like they're going into more detail on the perks this year, like telling you exactly what they do. I don't know now if it gives you time, because this it says that health regens after 4 seconds. I'm not sure if Warzone currently does that. I think
it's just faster,
generally has not. It just says faster regen time. So that's cool that they're specifically stating exact numbers, just like with the Mountaineer too, by 5 meters. So
which also
it seems like there's more detail. I don't know.
I think so, yeah. Which also implies, by the way, the default regen speed is at least 6, if not 7 seconds. So it's pretty long. 7's quite long. We've had that before. I don't remember when it was, but when Vondel came out, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, what's the next one here? Yeah. Needle drone is a new impact lethal coming to Warzone. Little yet deadly drone can be optionally steered, remotely detonated, and is perfect for finishing downed enemies. So it won't be good. Yeah.
It's a lethal.
Yeah. This is one of them we covered because you had got mad that there was another type of drone. So the little video shows I guess it's coming to Warzone. You can control it. Looks fucking ass. It won't matter. Well, if they even specifically state it'll be perfect for finishing downed enemies, then yeah, I'm not using this over any sort of grenade ever. So cool.
It could matter if depends on the map you're on. Like I could see this actually being quite good on Vondel if you're like sniping. I guess it depends, but like, you know, those sniper war, or like on Urzikstan, you know how those buildings are fairly close in downtown? I could see I'm on a rooftop, you're on another one, you're whatever, 50-ish meters away. I snipe and down you, and I just needle drone to get the full. I could see that being okay, maybe. It doesn't seem great though. Yeah, like I'm probably running impacts, but it's at least not.
I mean, we have that type of drone right now. It's just the only difference with this one is you can optionally steer it. So yeah, cool. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But whatever. I mean, yeah, people aren't going to use this.
I thought in the multiplayer blog, this automatically sought out enemies.
That was something else, because you were yelling because there were like 3 or 4 different type of drones.
Yeah, and I thought they were all automatic.
The one you're thinking of might be like a field upgrade or something.
Okay. Well, I think I misunderstood this one, and that's really good. If this is how this works in multiplayer, I'm pleased, because I thought my understanding from the multiplayer blog, because they can't write, is that this would automatically seek out enemies. But if it doesn't, that's one less thing people are clicking a button on and then fucking me with in multi. It's actually good for me, so I like that. But yeah, that's good to know. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, you're right. That's could be useful, not overpowered. We'll see. And then another one is the pinpoint grenade. Oh, wow. It's very obvious. This is like looks like it's a shittier snapshot grenade. Like a way shittier snapshot grenade to me. Takes forever to activate. Like, holy shit, that guy is standing there. You throw it. It takes a second. And then it does like a full sweep before the guy lights up. This seems awful.
Yeah, by the way, I was just double checking. You are thinking of a field upgrade, the drone pod, which in multiplayer is a deployable device that launches aerial drones. Drones seek out enemies and explode. That's the one.
Yeah.
So that was one of the many types of drones. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So that still pisses me off.
So what's this other one? Pinpoint grenade. Send multiple pulses that.
Look at the video of how long it takes. The second clip.
or forcing them to pull the tack out, rendering them. Like how long it lasts, you're saying?
Just watch it.
Okay.
In the second clip of these, it's like it does a full sweep before it even highlights the guy.
Oh, yeah.
That
Which,
looks
I mean,
awful.
I guess is good. Then also, it seems like it highlights them for a while, and then it highlights through walls, I guess. So
yeah,
it's
right.
a snapshot that just works through walls now, because currently those don't work when you break line of sight. So, I mean, okay, it's a good way to balance it if they want something like this in. Yeah, it makes sense. It's not nearly... It's, you know, you can throw it in a room and see where people are, sure. But it's not as busted as snapshots were like in Caldera, where you just tossed it and anybody within 40 meters just immediately got.
Which was insane, yeah, right.
So,
yeah. So,
yeah, okay.
I have to play with that.
Whatever. I mean, I'm
not
choosing to run this probably, but okay.
That's the thing too. The opportunity cost. Am I giving up smokes for this? Like, almost certainly not. And then here's a tactical that's only coming to Warzone. It's a Phantom Signal. Let's see what this is here. So you have a slow ass animation to use it. And it just fucks up people's HUD. Okay, I mean, it looks really fucking horrendous. Especially as a tactical. There's no universe in which you run this. Like, oh, it'd be cool to turn people's claymores off or something, but, or you could use a good tactical. Yeah, so that seems really bad. This is the gas grenade. There's no video of it. I hate gas grenades. They're really stupid. So, yeah. And now the gas grenade is going to cause you to hallucinate. So you'll hear random weapon fire and see enemy phantoms. So it'll be pretty good. And I think if you can overclock it... I do wonder if overclocking is coming to Warzone, by the way. That's something I'm not sure we know. So, that's fucking annoying. And then if this does damage, it's going to be even more annoying and busted. I'm a hater of gas in general, except the zone. Take out gas grenades, take out gas mines, take out gas... anything. Bunker busters, take all this shit out. It's dumb. I hate it. So, but whatever.
We don't know if overclocks are coming, but I mean, they're not. Yeah.
I hope
talked about that.
Not. Yeah. Well, they would have put Avalon in the blog post too.
Okay, terrible. Sight grenade. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
These are all, so far, these all have the classic, they're either going to be annoying to get hit with or just useless. That's what we're seeing so far.
Exactly, yeah. They're going to be busted OP or
like if somebody scrambles my fucking HUD, I'm just going to be like, really? This rat fuck is using this stupid phantom signal? And it's just going to be a bad player, always. So it's kind of one of those things where this, you know, we don't need any of this shit, but whatever.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It's either, yeah, it's going to be busted OP and need a nerf, or no one's going to use it because they're going to run smokes. This is interesting. This reminds me of something. I'm curious if this reminds you of anything. Equipment counterplays coming to Warzone. Smoke grenades will put out Molotov fire, and stim shots will remove the effects of flashes and concussion grenades. More rock, paper, scissors mechanics will come later down the road.
Rock, paper, scissors mechanics. The smoke grenade thing, it reminds me of, what did they do with the water that one time?
If you throw a molly on water, you get a smoke effect. Was their big, cool new thing that I never saw happen once, by the way.
Okay, so number one, smoke grenades put out a Molotov. Nobody will ever once use this in a meaningful way in Warzone, and I mean ever, so that one doesn't matter. Stim shots removing the effect of flash and concussion. That's interesting. I like that a lot. That's a really good idea. Because if stim shots become meta, which they generally are up there in the meta, that renders flash and concussion fairly useless most of the game if most people would be running stims. Which, yeah, that's good because I don't want to have to go up against those ever. So that's cool.
It's cool. It's like the overclock for stim shots in multiplayer is just going to be default in Warzone, which I think is cool. But again, how many people are going to be using flashes and concussions, period? And especially now, how many people are going to be running flashes and concussions? Like, basically no one.
Yeah.
People haven't run flashes or stuns in Warzone for quite a while. Outside of, like, solo riot shielders or something. You'll just run smokes or stims if they're really busted, or if something else is really disgusting, like gas grenades were, you'll basically be forced to run them even though you hate the effects of them, don't think they should be in the game. So shit ultimately doesn't really matter at all. But it could be relevant if you have loadout and some guy doesn't and stuns you because he picked up a stun as like some ground loot he found. That's cool. Yeah. It's cool. I like it. I just don't think it's a big deal at all. And like people saying like, this is sick. Lucci saying this is sick. Shut up.
Yeah. I mean,
just shut the fuck up.
You're
it's
never
fine.
Gonna use it. It's cute.
This interaction will happen twice in a year to each player, maybe. Yeah. So, yeah. And it won't change the outcome of the fight either,
to put out the molly, just running away from it. You know.
Yeah, it's just so.
What am I gonna do? Like get stuck in a door, throw my smoke grenade so that it removes the molly effect.
Also think about it. How long does a molly last?
To the person.
How long does a molly last? So like some guy throws a Molotov, the fire's gonna be on the ground for what, like 5 seconds? So then I have to register there's fire on the screen, hope my PC doesn't crash, throw a smoke grenade, wait for the smoke to hit. So I've taken the molly time down now from 3 seconds to 0. Like, yeah. Okay, man. Like, and then now whatever. Yeah, doesn't matter. And also, how many people run mollies in Warzone? I ran them once upon a time. Most people never did. So the Echo unit is also coming to Warzone to cause chaos. I don't cause chaos, cause predictability, but whatever, and order. This upgraded decoy will mimic your stance, operator skin, and weapon, serving as a potentially devastating distraction for those hunting you down. Okay, so that's a field upgrade, meaning you can't run it in a loadout, so who really cares?
Mimic your stance. Does that mean if I crouch, my decoy right next to me is going to crouch? If I go prone, my decoy is going to go prone. That's what the video is looking
like it's doing, yeah.
Because they cut the part where he goes from standing to prone.
Transition, yeah, you're right.
And they're in a different location. So maybe they just mean whatever stance you're in when you put down the decoy, that's the stance it'll be in.
By the way, notice in clip 2, they're actually not in the same stance. One person's taking a knee and the other person's taking a shit.
That's not the same stance, yeah.
Those are not the same stance, actually. So, but I get what they're saying. Cool. This one of those things that this was a waste of developer time. Yep. 2 new POIs on Verdansk. We talked about that. Here's another look at Signal Station. Let's watch the video for you guys a little bit. And again, I've seen some gameplay from COD Next. I've seen this video as well. It looks okay, maybe. Like, this room looks awful to me. I don't think this is going to be fun to fight at all. But like some of the side rooms and look like okay. The big, looks really bad to fight
server in. like we do in labs on Tarkov all the time. Those server fights are fun, yeah. We know a lot about that.
Oh, not that room then. No, I mean the main room. The server room was different. Yeah. The fact
there's that there's a helicopter there. Did Jake see that array?
Really, I did see the miniature array. The helicopter is like the best thing they did to this POI. It takes it from being almost certainly not very relevant to maybe being somewhat relevant because you could drop here and just fly away. So that's very smart of them. Some people in chat were saying this changes the rotate from what was it? Favorite to like toward summit, or like from milli toward, zone. Those are all fair. I grant those. You're right.
Yeah.
And that is a fairly substantial part of the map. So I think this is more transformative than I thought, because it's not at Summit, which is what I thought. But I still don't, it's not saving Verdansk for me. But anyway. And then they talked about the tactile heat map. Out of respect for your intelligence, we're not going over that. Factory's back. It's basically the same.
Factory's back with a fresh coat of paint. Nice. Oh, here's the retweet about the experience.
Here's the Avalon tweet.
Yeah.
Yes. So here's what Call of Duty Twitter said. Warzone is bringing a bold new experience in spring of 26, inspired by the original Blackout set on Avalon. And this tweet also implies to me that we will not be able to play Warzone on Avalon. Because they say we're bringing you a Blackout experience and it is set on Avalon. They're not saying we're bringing you Avalon and a Blackout experience. So, again, really bad news if that's true, but I will play it, obviously. And then a bunch of camos. They show some here. I mean, I don't care.
Warzone Mastery camos, yeah. All the camos I've seen this year, they look cool. They look pretty
This looks good. Yeah.
I really haven't looked at the Warzone ones yet.
Golden Damascus doesn't look that good to me, actually. Looks pretty close to just gold. Starglass looks unique.
Apocalypse looks good, which is the last one. It's like obsidian that changes from like red to or black to red when you fire it. It looks like.
I do like how Absolute Zero looks. Looks pretty dope.
Absolute Zero looks similar to the Warzone Mastery camo now.
Yeah, it kind of does. And then Apocalypse does look actually super sick. I really like that one. Yeah,
Apocalypse
that
is really
one's
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the camos that we're getting this year look dope.
Yeah.
Multiplayer too.
It's cool. Yep. Yeah. And if you put camos in whatever. And that's it. So that's COD Next, Warzone.
Yeah. That's Warzone. So any meaningful changes to Warzone, they're not coming until next year.
That's another
like March
thing.
Of next year.
Yep.
So, if you, I was going to say, if you're a Warzone player, just take some time off, but never mind. If you're still enjoying Warzone right now, you're going to enjoy with the small changes we get with the BO7 integration. But, yeah, not doing anything for me personally. Multiplayer's doing much more, but...
Exactly. And we're going to talk about multiplayer a lot more on Saturday. Like we said, we'll play the beta and we'll have things to say on it from personal experience, which I'm very excited for. But on the topic of Warzone specifically, I genuinely totally forgot we haven't even gotten Season 6 yet. Holy fuck.
Oh. Wait, we haven't? What are we on? 5 Reloaded?
Yeah.
What the hell is going to be in Season 6?
That's what I'm saying. I totally forgot. Because we have no fucking idea. We're getting like nothing for Season 6. Now, again, as I've said many times, you never get anything for Season 6. So this is not a surprise. But given the lack of new content up to Season 6, it is a bit of a shame that we're also not getting
the Halloween event. That's what we'll be getting. But, yeah.
Okay.
So... yeah, that's what it'll be. That'll be the update.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, I guess that may or may not be cool.
Enjoy your cute little Warzone experience, guys. The real men will be on multiplayer.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, you're right. Like I've been saying, I just, Warzone's just gotten shafted. And it's by design. They're sunsetting it. So, anyway. All right, yeah, that's it. We are done as motherfuck. We will be back on Saturday again to talk about the beta. I am excited to play that. And again, just to give you guys a silver lining.
What are you doing?
The multiplayer does look quite good. And I'm really hoping on Saturday I can come and say it was good and fun and everything I expected it to be. Hopefully that's the case. Find out on Saturday. But yeah, if you're a Warzone player, I mean, just look, all you can do is get your prayer beads out, say your Hail Marys, and hope that in 2027, whatever Infinity Ward is cooking, whatever new game mode that is fun. Because having bots in a game mode is not inherently bad. For example, Escape from Tarkov has always had bots in it. And there have been eras, not now, there have been eras where that game has been really fucking fun and really competitive against other players. So like the inclusion of bots in DMZ2, which is my stand-in term for whatever the new experience will be in 27 with Infinity Ward, does not necessitate that it'll be bad and shit. Because it might not be. It might be really good. I don't know. We won't know until it comes, obviously. But what it does guarantee is the death of Warzone as you know it. So, again, if you're a Warzone player, hope that the new experience coming is good and fun and then you won't miss Warzone. But it is going away. Say your goodbyes. Look, grandma's in hospice. It's stage 4. Say your goodbyes. Bring her some fucking ice cream. You know, sit at her bedside, because you're going to have to watch the doctor come in and pull the fucking plug. So make peace with that. It's a reality. Yeah. Enjoy the last year, insofar as it's going to have fucking anything. Which it doesn't sound like it's going to be a lot. Signal station on the same fuck-ass map. Anyway. All right. That's it. Yeah, we'll be back Saturday. Thank you, guys. Thank you again to our patrons. Our new patrons, our new as fuck patrons, Ryan and Jason. And also Fun Studios and Anarchist. Thank you for the gifted subs, Kings.
Super Fun Studio.
We're signing off. The blackout experience is upon us.
Yeah. Blackout.